And we welcome you here to Morristown-Beard. The Morristown-Beard School playing host here today for the Prep B Championship. As you see, the Pennington School Red Raiders are on the road to face off against these Morristown-Beard Crimson in a Prep B Championship matchup. Simon Rosenwasser here with you on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. As you see, the starter is going to get announced to the crowd. Pennington coming in 14-6 this year. And the Morristown-Beard Crimson 13-9 here in the Prep B Championship game. Both teams playing relatively close games in the Prep B semifinal matchups. The Pennington Red Raiders. The Pennington Red Raiders are coming off a 64-58 win over Montclair Kimberly in the Prep B semifinal game. Patrick Higgins had 21 points and 6 assists in that game. A tightly contested one in the Prep B semis against MKA, a 6-point advantage. Mitch Phillips had 13 and 15 rebounds as well. And on the other side, Morristown-Beard, they are coming off a win over Princeton Day School. Tim Williams coached Princeton Day School Panthers in the Prep B semifinals. Justin Rodriguez with 27 points, 8 assists, and 7 rebounds. After the Crimson were able to overcome a slow start in that one to defeat Princeton Day School in the semifinals of the Prep B tournament, and here they are hosting. They were in it last year against Doane Academy on the road in what was an exciting matchup there, one that went to overtime. And back are the Crimson again this year hosting here in the Prep B Championship. And we are off and running here. And it is the Morristown-Beard Crimson in the all-white jerseys, their home jerseys, and an early jump shot is good for number 14 and Justin Rodriguez. Rodriguez joined by Ralph Castillo, Zach Dees, Ryan Russo, and Declan Kelly in the starting lineup for Morristown-Beard. And for the Pennington Red Raiders, you've got Patrick Harris, Chauncey Sterling, Jamar Tucker, Bo Hartplace, and Mitch Phillips. Working around the zone here, and a three-pointer is good from the top of the key. It's Mitch Phillips, averaging 16 points per game, a double-double for the Red Raiders of Pennington. Also 10.5 rebounds per game, big piece for the team in black tonight. As the score 3-2 in favor of Pennington. And it remains that way as this rebound is picked up by the Pennington Red Raiders and Jamar Tucker, who brings up the ball and dishes off to Patrick Higgins. And Higgins coming off a good performance in the semifinal matchup, and here he is with the ball, guarded by Ryan Russo. They bounce it down low. It is once again the big man and Mitch Phillips, and he has his way. Phillips, 5-2. Skip pass here into the corner as the Crimson set up in the half court. Very athletic team, an experienced team. A lot of key pieces from last year's squad on the floor this year for the Crimson as well, including the guy with the ball who just dished it off, and Ralph Castillo. This is a three from Ryan Russo, who was also on the team last year and a big piece of it, but he misses the three. And we remain with a 3-point advantage for the Pennington Red Raiders as the pace is slowed by Chauncey Sterling. Again for Patrick Harris and Phillips, who they have fed early. This is a three from the left wing, no good from Morristown-Beard off the arms of Zach Dees. And Dees getting back on defense, doing well. Disrupted things for the moment, but only for the moment, as Patrick Higgins was able to knock down the jump shot. And the score is 7-2 in favor of Pennington. A good start for the Red Raiders. Again, coming in at 14-6. And Phillips leading them in scoring with 16 points per game, but Higgins also right there at 16 points per game as well. Also getting good contributions in the scoring department from Chauncey Sterling and Jamar Tucker, both of those guys averaging 6 points per game. And those 4 names, actually all 5 of the starters, Hartpence, Higgins, Phillips, Sterling, and Tucker, they've played all 20 games this year for the Pennington Red Raiders. So an indication of a team that's been healthy, which is good. And certainly at this point in the season, you would imagine the chemistry is at its highest point as well. Morristown-Beard after the timeout looking to get back on the board. Not going to do it here as Mitch Phillips got the rebound and then runs the break the other way. But weaving his way back to safety was Pennington's Jamar Tucker. Leads to a 3, and Tucker drains it as the Red Raiders give him 2. He had a foot on the line. Take a 7-point lead. Here in the first quarter, 3 minutes and 10 seconds in. So 4:45 to go in the first quarter. 8 minutes per quarter, as is per usual. Here's Mo Baird working in the half court here. And to the top, it's Castillo with the jump shot, left it short. And the Crimson a bit out of sorts here to start on their home floor. And a big game such as this one, sometimes it takes a couple of minutes, even a quarter or a half, to totally get comfortable, get those nerves out of you. The way that this is matched up on paper, it should be a tightly contested one throughout. Good work by Pennington to get their shot. Chauncey Sterling, though, left it just off the rim. And Mo Baird works quickly in transition. Russo for 3, another one no good, but he's bailed out by Mitch Phillips, losing the rebound out of bounds, so it'll stay here with 4 minutes on the dot on the clock here in the first quarter. NJ Prep B Championship here live on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Tough shot for Castillo. He got it to go. Was looking for the contact. Didn't get it. At least the call he didn't get. He did get the bucket. And it is a 9-4 advantage for Pennington. 2 points for Castillo, 2 points for Rodriguez. Sterling, little hesitation on the baseline. Did the hard part, missed the easy part. Rodriguez, no-look pass, a corner 3, no good, off the rim. And it's Higgins who pulls up for 3. That one's no good. And we're going back and forth here. Russo, a little skip pass and a bump by Sterling, and the first foul of the evening called against the Pennington Red Raider. And senior in Chauncey Sterling, 6-foot guard. And so Zach Tees brings it out on the baseline for the Crimson, and Castillo swings to the right wing, and Russo takes a 3 and knocks it down. Much needed for Morristown-Beard in the jump shot department. And Ryan Russo's first 3-ball of the game as Phillips answers with an and one. Mitch Phillips hit a 3-ball to start in this one. Added in a jump shot from the top of the key as well, and the big man shows his versatility, taking the contact underneath. And he's going to the line for one more. Already 7 points. Substitution for Morristown-Beard as Ian Bomey checks into the game. And no good on the free throw. Pinball's out of bounds, and last touched by the referee, says the Crimson. One team foul apiece, 2:57 to go in the first quarter. Apologize on the scoring lapse here. It is 11-7 as Morristown-Beard tries to inch back closer. And this one will go out of bounds and stay with Morristown-Beard, trailing by 4 points with 2:47 to go. It'll be Rodriguez to bring this one out. Baird led in scoring this season by Justin Rodriguez. As off the ball, he provides a screen to Castillo. Castillo resets at the top, and now Rodriguez on the left wing. Deep three for Russo. He was feeling it, but it was just in and out. Started to fade away as if it was going to be good, but it wasn't. Sterling. And now Phillips. A good-looking jump shot, but this one no good. Still 11-7, 2:15 to go. And Castillo, the big jump step, and then he passes to the top where Rodriguez misses the three. Decent amount of points on the board, considering we've seen a lot of missed shots on both ends of the floor. We're in for a fast-paced and, as that translates to you, entertaining basketball game. Here's Mitch Phillips. And now Higgins for Sterling. Chauncey Sterling, with a good hesitation, and in the air, he's able to get the finger roll off the glass and good. 13-7, and Baird quickly gets the other way. It's Castillo getting into the lane, and Castillo for two, 13-9. Castillo with 4. And a 4-point deficit as Higgins pump fakes and takes a shorter shot. Maybe getting a piece was Morristown-Baird's Ian Bomey, and he secured the rebound as well. Castillo finding an open man at the top, and a jump shot no good. Too long off the hands of Declan Kelly, the quarterback for Morristown-Baird. And then Kelly defensively fouling Phillips in transition. Actually not a bad foul, as Pennington had numbers the other way. 57 seconds to go, and we've got substitution for the Crimson coming in. Liam Garland for Morristown-Baird. Remains 13-9, and the clock runs at 57 seconds. Here in the first quarter, Preppy Championship live on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Phillips calling for the ball on the recently checked-in Garland, trying to force it to Diop, nothing doing. Stays with Pennington, though. 3 in the corner, and no good off the top of the backboard. Chance to make it a one-possession game with a bucket here if you're Morristown-Baird. Underneath, they found the open man. Good ball movement, and it's Bomey now. The left wing leaving it off for Rodriguez. Under 30 seconds to go, 25 and counting. 3 ball and an open one from the right wing, no good. And Phillips has the rebound. 20 seconds. Pennington could hold for one if they want. They don't. But they score. And it's Sterling, who's now got 4. And it's 15-9 with 8 seconds and counting left in the first quarter. 3, 2, 1, and Rodriguez gets it up in time and drains it at the buzzer to make it a 3-point deficit for Morristown-Baird. Justin Rodriguez. And the score 15-12 after 1 quarter of play. We take a quick break, and we come back for the start of the second. Start of the second quarter. Live on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Simon Rosenwasser here with you. Score 15-12. Pennington with the lead, and they turn it over. And Morristown-Baird, after the 3 ball by Justin Rodriguez at the end of the first quarter, have the momentum. However, That was last touched by Mo Bear. They tipped it out of bounds. It stays here with Pennington, and Phillips leaves it off. It's Patrick Higgins. As a three, it's a high arcing one, and it's no good. Rodriguez skips it away, and he's got his man in Ryan Russo. Russo for Rodriguez, backcourt violation. Eddie Franz waves his hands in the air. Speaking of the head coach, there he is. Won his 400th game as the Morristown-Beard boys basketball coach. Back a couple of weeks ago, and a win over Hanover Park. Coaching career began as a tennis coach here, and he's been at Morristown-Beard since 1983. Here are his Crimson working in the half court and missing a jump shot just inside the three-point line. Zach D's no good, and no score a minute into the second quarter. Phillips misses. Higgins has his rebound. Higgins out near the MB at center court. Tucker. Jamar Tucker, good spin move. Hangs in the air and finishes. Jamar Tucker now with 4. Phillips has 7. Tucker with 4. Sterling with 4. Other way, it's Rodriguez who leads his team with 7. 17-14 as this one comes out of bounds on the near side. Last touch by Mo Bear, tight defense. And a substitution is for the first time we see Morristown-Baird's Caleb Moten. And he replaces Ryan Russo. Moten here doing the dance on the sideline, and they get it down to Diop through the Red Raiders. And Mansour puts down 2. .5:45 to go. It's Rodriguez who wants the 3, and he got it to go as it spun around the rim and then hit the backboard to drop down. And the Crimson are as close to the Red Raiders as they've been since the beginning of the game. It's 19-17 in favor of Pennington. Rodriguez's second 3 of the game. And he has 10 points. Phillips working on Garland, and Garland, credit him with the defense as the traveling violation is called on the big man and Mitch Phillips. Couple substitutions here both ways for Pennington as well as Morristown-Beard. Pennington School head coach Bernie Gurick. Head of school Bill Hawkey. Currently on an 8-game win streak are the Pennington Red Raiders, playing some of their best basketball, obviously, as we are in the crunched part of the season. Guts of the season, if you will. 5 minutes and 8 seconds and counting on the clock as the Crimson work as Rodriguez slides it and gives to the top of the key. It is now Justin Rodriguez who receives back. Nothing really doing so far on this possession for Pennington. No shot clock, though, here in New Jersey. Rodriguez guarded by Diop. Might be a mismatch, so Rodriguez wants to take him to the rim, and good decision. Maybe it wasn't. Let's see. Is it a charge or is it a blocking foul? I think it's a blocking foul based on the reaction of the Pennington staff. Pennington not happy, thinking that they got the charge called, but it's Rodriguez who's going to the line for 2 free throws. Only the second team foul called on Pennington, which is good news. We like it when there's few fouls for a number of reasons. It's a good pace to the play, and it ensures that we get to see the best players on the floor for as long as possible if they don't find themselves in foul trouble. Rodriguez hits the first free throw, and he's got one more. 6 points in the quarter. That's all of the points for Morristown-Beard in this frame. Make it 7 and a tie game at 19. 4:42 to go in the second quarter. Patrick Higgins, 16 points per game, 6 assists per game. Scored the first 2 of the game for Pennington, but not since then. Phillips dropping it off for Diop, but out of bounds. He couldn't handle the pass, and we're going the other way for the Crimson, and they have a chance to take the lead. Jamar Tucker subbing out for his teammate and Chauncey Sterling. Only 2 points here in the second quarter for Pennington, courtesy of Mansour Diop. Crimson, after the Rodriguez 3 at the end of the quarter, were able to take some momentum into the huddle and played well here so far to tie the game up at 19. It's Rodriguez skipping to Castillo on the baseline, coming across. And now Bomey will check back out to Zach Dees. Good defense by Pennington, staying right with them. It's Dees, though, pulling up from the elbow, leaving it short, got his own miss. Dees now for Castillo. His shot, short as well. Russo, small man, but got the rebound and found an open man. Bomey for 3, no good. Good effort by Dees to try and save it, but better pursuit by Pennington on that defensive series. Though they missed out on a couple of defensive rebounds, they were able to contest all of the shots there on that series. And the timeout called, though, 19-19. You see Morristown-Beard. We zoom into some of their conference championships. Pretty good success here in the 2000s, winning the prep championship last year on the floor of Doane Academy. And back in 2003 and 2002, they had a good run. Right. The Morristown-Beard Crimson have had a solid couple of seasons. And we're back to the action, 3:30 on the dot and counting to go here. It's Mitch Phillips for 2. First 2 points of the second quarter. Now with 9 on the game. 21-19 in favor of the Red Raiders. Castillo. Now Rodriguez. By Diop again. Castillo. Jump step among 3 defenders. Nothing there. Rodriguez on the follow, too much. And Pennington outlets ahead. Jamar Tucker. Good feed for Diop. And a deuce. 4 now for Mansour. And the score 23-19, a 4-0 run from Pennington. After the Crimson had tied it up. Russo to answer for 3. Off back iron. Hasn't got his stroke going just yet. He did hit one earlier, though. And to the rim goes Patrick Higgins, and all the way down for 2. And it's 25-19. Rodriguez, his team down by 6, and 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go. As we count down in the second quarter, down to the ground goes Tucker, so Russo tried to take it to the hole. He was denied by Diop. And Beard, though, getting back. Rodriguez draws the foul. Good work by the Crimson to hustle back. But good pace to this one, and good action all around from both teams. Though it's the Red Raiders who have made more of the plays lately, up by 6 points with 1:55 to go in the second quarter. Rodriguez slows the pace. Only 5 total fouls here in the first half. Pennington calling for a walk. They end up turning Rodriguez over anyway. Higgins 1-on-2, and he draws the foul, heading to the cup. It's Bomey called for the foul, and with 1:38 to go, Higgins to the line for 2. Patrick Higgins, a junior, 6 foot. The 65th and 66th free throws on the season for Patrick Higgins. So 27-19 the score. Crimson now down by 8 after this 8-0 run. Castillo cannot end it. Another tough shot. And the Red Raiders slow the pace, up by 8 in no particular hurry, feeling good after a fast-moving first couple of quarters. No foul as Phillips wanted it called. And getting it up there, a much-needed 2 for Zach Dees, his first 2 actually of the game, 21-27. Tucker maybe could have shot it. Instead, he goes back to Phillips at the top of the key. Now it's Bo Hartplace. He's been relatively quiet here in this one. Hartpence, excuse me. He's averaging 6 points per game this season. 24 seconds ago, the Red Raiders looked like they might hold for 1 here. However, as I say that, going to the line and forcing it up for the Crimson and Chauncey Sterling. Clock stops with 14.7 seconds to go, and a foul on the floor called against Sterling. 14 seconds to go. Mo Bear down by 6. Might have a chance to bring it within a 1-possession game at the half if they can hit a 3. But here's Justin Rodriguez. Under 5 seconds, it's Castillo off to the left, and the time's going to run out. The score will be 27-21 at the end of 1 half here from the Morristown-Beard School. We'll have point totals for you as we start the 3rd quarter, and the players take a break. We will as well. Halftime here, 6-point lead for Pennington here in the Prep B Championship. You're watching live high school basketball on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Start of the third quarter here from Morristown-Beard School. It is 27-21 as the teams switch sides of the floor. Morristown-Beard now, as you can see, moving right to left. And it's Castillo. Getting it to Declan Kelly, denied, swatted away by Pennington and Mitch Phillips. And Pennington able to clear this one away and take control with a 6-point lead. It's spread all the way across the Pennington roster in terms of points. Mitch Phillips has 9. Patrick Harris has 6. Chauncey Sterling has 4. Jamar Tucker has 4. And Mansour Diop has 4. That's going to be a traveling violation against Mitch Phillips. As Justin Rodriguez, who leads the scores for Morristown-Beard, he's got 12. Shot off the rim, and numbers for Pennington. Break with an and one finish by Bo Hartpence. The 6'5" junior forward for one more at the line. 29-21, the first 3 points here of the third quarter go to Pennington, and a new scorer. And Bo Hartpence, his first 3 of the game. And a big statement coming out of the locker rooms by the Pennington Red Raiders here in the Prep B Championship. The defending champs in Morristown-Beard have Justin Rodriguez knocking down a mid-range jump shot. 14 now for Rodriguez, and 23-30. A minute and change into the third quarter. Ball out of bounds. It will stay here with Pennington. Red Raiders' current record 14-6 on an 8-game winning streak. Phillips, beautiful move, but then he left it off the rim short. He did everything but score there. It'll stay here with Morristown-Beard as Phillips made 2 different moves that deked out defenders. Spin move and then able to shift away the defender as well to get himself free. This is Castillo leaning back and hitting. Rafael Castillo. Mitch Phillips, and now a 3 for Tucker. And Jamar Tucker drops it through, his first 3 ball of the game. However, there was a foot on the line, so give him 2. 2 points for Tucker. And Mo Baird getting a couple back. And one for Zach Dees. It's the free throw. Does Dees? So 32-28. Crimson already scoring 7 points here in the third quarter. Good adjustments made by head coach Eddie Franz, and certainly the players on the floor. As that shot a little short, but it'll stay with Pennington. Starting to feed Hartpence a little bit more. And it's Tucker who plays catch with Phillips. Hartpence left it short, and it's Rodriguez running the break, and Dees who finishes for a deuce. 7 now for Zach Dees. And just like that, the Crimson within 2. And we've got ourselves a ball game. 4-point advantage for Morristown-Beard here in the third quarter. Higgins claiming that he was fouled, and I think he's got a case. It's Dees the other way with a left hand, no good, and Phillips the rebound. 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter, and we're going back and forth again. Pace remains the same, and not a lot of fouls again, as we saw in the first half. Only one team foul apiece here in the first 4 minutes. Rodriguez gets it down to Castillo, and now an open jump shot for Justin. No good, followed his miss, but Phillips was there. And we've got a timeout called by the Pennington Red Raiders, a 30-second timeout, 32-30. And a good start here in the third quarter. 3:45 to go in the third. As Pennington gets a quick break. Coming in 14-6 on the season. They'll be playing in the Mercer County tournament. And they are the #9 seed in the Mercer County tournament, playing against Notre Dame tomorrow. First round of the Mercer County tournament tomorrow for Pennington. 9 seed against the 8 seeded Notre Dame. So a big couple of days for the Red Raiders. It's Russo with a beautiful steal, and he got the roll. Tight rope the far sideline, got the finish. It hung up there for a while before falling down for Ralph Russo. And Russo has a chance to give Morristown-Beard the lead. The first time in the game. First 2-point bucket for Russo. He did have a 3-pointer in the first quarter. As Zach Dees takes the seat, he's replaced by John Martin of Morristown-Beard. Tie ball game, not anymore, as Russo knocks it down. He's got 6. And the Crimson take a 1-point lead here in the Prep B Championship. Whistle and a foul off the ball. And it's against Morristown-Beard. As Garland checks in. Placing Declan Kelly. This is Phillips. A little strong on the layup. Another offensive rebound for Pennington. Certainly winning in that department. Sterling drawing the contact. There was a host of Crimson all around him, and one of them getting called for the foul. It's called on Liam Garland. Third team foul against Morristown-Beard. And Chauncey Sterling, who had 4 points in the first half, has a chance for his first 2 in the second. All 3s on the scoreboard here in the third quarter. Castillo lost it, hit the floor, and a whistle finally comes, and the jump ball. We're heading the other way. Tie ball game still. Pennington now will take over here with 2:55 to go in the third quarter. Chauncey Sterling for Higgins, open for three, and he knocks it down. (36-33). 36-35. .2:15 and counting in the third quarter as Chauncey Sterling brings it up. By the way, the last bucket for Morristown-Beard scored by Ralph Castillo. 8 points on the game. Higgins, another three, and this one in and out. Tucker battling down low for Pennington, but loses possession. As Ian Bomey will restart for Morristown-Beard. And Rodriguez races up the floor into the front court with under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Here's Castillo. Skipping across to Garland. Lost it as he tried to take Phillips, and he was on the line, turns it over. Does Liam Garland, and he gets an earful from his head coach, Eddie Franz. So many great ball handlers on Morristown-Beard. And when a player like that turns the ball over, that's when the frustration sets in as a head coach. You want your big men posting up down low, not taking defenders on the floor. This is Higgins, who certainly can do that. Hit a three a couple of possessions ago, but misses in the subsequent two. Zach Dees does the same, leaves it short here. And it remains a 1 point advantage from Pennington. Slowing it down is Pat Higgins with 1:05 and counting to go. Phillips spinning into the lane. Dees made it tough, and a traveling violation against Mitch Phillips. Such a hot start for Phillips. He has not scored in the third quarter. A senior who's averaging (16 points per game. Had 7 in the first quarter, 2 in the second, and hasn't scored here in the third. A good job by Mo Baird as they've been able to keep him in check. They've simultaneously clawed back into the lead, 1 point advantage with the ball. And in the arms of Justin Rodriguez, still guarded by Diop, got him to the hole. Castillo following, no good. Phillips the rebound, he clears it and he's headed the other way. Dees, good job getting back on defense, but Higgins is open for three. Yet another one left short, and numbers for the Crimson. Zach Dees was passing, and it's gonna be on the floor, but he was fouled. Again, not a ton of fouls committed in this game. That is the third team foul here in the third quarter on the Pennington school. They committed that same number in the first half. Dees right down low. He's got Higgins, missed it, and Rodriguez is there for the rebound. Rodriguez tied up by Mansour Diop. Castillo looming to give him a screen. Instead, Rodriguez goes strong side and is fouled before the shot. Now the whistle's starting to pile up. And the fourth team foul called against Pennington. 3.9 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Two seconds, Rodriguez is open for three, and down it goes again for Justin Rodriguez. You think you want the ball in his hands at the end of a quarter? Hits a three ball at the end of the first, hits a three ball at the end of the third. Both of them, no doubt, and both of them huge to give his team some momentum. This one gives his team a 2-point lead heading to the fourth quarter. Here live on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. great action here from Morristown-Beard. 8 minutes to go here in the Prep B championship game. A fast-paced, fast-moving game. Not a lot of whistles, which we like. And what we like most of all is it's entertaining and close. 2-point advantage for Morristown-Beard. And they have the ball, Justin Rodriguez, with an ice in his veins 3 at the end of the third quarter. Sterling able to turn over Morristown-Beard and try to keep possession here on the near side. A jump ball is called. And possession arrow should be in favor of Pennington as Mo Baird brought the ball out. Sterling a little shaken up on the play. As you can see all the way on the far side, he's talking to his assistant coach, and we're going to get a timeout called. It's going to allow Sterling to catch his breath as he took a shot here on the near side, fighting for possession of that ball. You see the student section here, crowd on their feet, making some noise here at Morristown-Beard, trying to repeat as the Prep B champions in Prep B NJ Prep basketball, as they did last year, beating Doane Academy. And a much smaller gym this year, doing it on their home floor for what they hope. So 7:35 to go here in the fourth quarter. Pennington 14-6, Morristown-Beard 13-9. Eddie France and his team. And the head man for Pennington, Bernie Gurick and his team. Athletic director for Pennington, Jerry Urey. Athletic director here at Morristown-Beard, Joanne Zama. And a special shout out to Kathy Fleming of the Morristown-Beard School. Great hospitality here, and they know how to treat their press well here at the Mo Baird School. The Crimson are on defense. It's Pennington who brings it out here on the near side. Patrick Higgins gets it into Tucker. 30 seconds into the fourth quarter, and a 2-point game. The Red Raiders trail. Deflected this way, and Kelly kept it in play. It was ill-advised, but it leads to a Diop 2. Mansour with 6, and we're tied at 38. Zach Dees for Russo. Good defense by Pennington, and they keep possession as Chauncey Sterling backs the defenders off. Sterling leans in, goes to his right hand, pinballs up in the air. Sterling again left it short. Phillips this time, same result, and the rebound by Castillo. And a lot more to be desired there on that trip for Pennington as they were right around the rim. Castillo shuffled the feet, knocked it down from the top, but he's called for the violation and a turnover against the Crimson. As a timeout is going to be called, I believe, here by Morristown-Beard. 6:29 to go in quarter number 4. Morristown-Beard tied up 38-38 as Eddie Franz calls this timeout. Mo Baird also playing very well recently. Defeating Montclair Kimberly, Germantown Academy by 15, which is an impressive performance. That's always a well-coached and tough Germantown Academy squad down in the Philadelphia area. Wardlow Hartridge they defeated 61-35. Soulbury in Pennsylvania, a score of 89-85. One thing with this Mo Baird squad is, you know, they can beat you a number of different ways. They can play those low-scoring defensive battles, but obviously when they need to get out and run and pile on the points, they can do that too. Tied at 38 here in the fourth quarter. 6:29 to go. And Sterling gives to Higgins. Phillips giving a screen on the high post. And Sterling now receives back here on right wing. On the other side, it's Higgins. Tucker for three. No good. Russo the rebound. And Rodriguez skips it. Pump faking for a deep three. Gets past Diop and drew the foul. Rodriguez has had some success putting it on the floor on Mansour Diop. Foul was called on him. 15th foul against Pennington. And 5:57 to go here in the fourth quarter. Morristown-Beard back in play with Castillo. Rodriguez, quick trigger on the three, no good. Tucker the rebound. Jamar hands off to Higgins. And he runs the show here for the Red Raiders. Phillips attacking. Got it back. Counted in the foul for Mitch Phillips of Pennington. Then he's going to the line to possibly give his team a 3-point lead with 5:39 to go in the fourth quarter. Good on the free throw. Phillips is 0 for 2 in that regard. This is his first 2 points of the second half. Russo found a seam, and then he was tripped en route to the hoop. Legs got tangled up underneath with Tucker, and that's what the case being pled to the referees is from Tucker. And it was incidental, but it is a foul on the floor, and all of a sudden, 6 team fouls against Pennington. Morristown-Beard in the bonus. The next loose ball foul, and they're going to be shooting a 1-and-1. Still 40-38. Now Pennington with the lead. Quick trigger and a left wing three is good. The corner 3 ball from Ian Bomey. His first points of the game and a clutch 3 to give his team a 1-point lead. Jamar Tucker looking for the answer. Sterling spinning and one again. Chauncey Sterling with an athletic move, and we're on the seesaw as Pennington takes a 1-point lead. One more coming for Chauncey Sterling. He misses the free throw. Pennington not doing great in that regard. And Sterling has missed, as well as Phillips from the line. Sterling 1 of 3. Bomey thinking 3. His team down by 1, 4:45 to go and counting. As Justin Rodriguez picks it up. Russo off a screen, lost it. And the outlet to Higgins, great feed. Higgins is fouled by Rodriguez, and he'll be shooting 2. Higgins looking for his 10th point of the game at the line. Pennington leads by 3. Morristown-Beard looking for an answer. Rodriguez running the point, and Diop was right with him. Rodriguez able to get him in the air again and draw the foul. And that is the 7th team foul against Pennington. It's been a common theme throughout this game, seeing Justin Rodriguez taking Diop off the dribble. Free throws important here. Rodriguez a good free throw shooter. now 3 of 3 on the game. It's his first point of the fourth. And he's shaking that right hand a little bit. (44-43). Phillips bulldozed Garland to the ground and then put in 2. An easy 2 for Mitch Phillips. Back up to 13 points, and Pennington leading by 3. Castillo finding Rodriguez, who was open, but he was open because of a offensive foul off the ball. And Morristown-Beard turns it over. Phillips lost it from Higgins, and they're lucky to retain possession as Ryan Russo was wreaking havoc on that far side. And you see the head coach and Bernie Gurick claiming that Russo committed a foul. 3:30 to go here in the fourth quarter, and Pennington up by 3. It's Phillips, guarded by Declan Kelly. Now Tucker. And as he went to the hole, he was fouled by Zach Dees. So now 1-1. As the need for buckets has gotten bigger and bigger, the aggression has kicked up a notch for both teams as well. That's led to a couple more whistles and more foul calls in the second half. Here's Jamar Tucker at the free throw line. Front end of the 1-and-1 is hit. He earns the right to shoot another. (48-43), 3:10 to go. Bomey with Phillips closing in on him. Now hands off to Rodriguez. Driving back door was Castillo, and it was disrupted by Chauncey Sterling. Wasn't full. 2:57 to go. And the largest lead of the game right now, I think, is 5 for Pennington. They were down by 6 at the start of the second half, Morristown-Beard. So 6 was the biggest lead. And somehow Pennington magically keeps possession here, right in front of us here broadcasting. Jamar Tucker hit the deck and was still able to dribble as he was on the ground to at least not get into some open floor, and Pennington to retrieve and call timeout. So now the Red Raiders have the timeout and the lead, 48-43, 2:42 to go here in the fourth quarter. Red Raiders in control, but still plenty of basketball to play here in the Prep B Championship. And this is where the fact that there's no shot clock in the state of New Jersey, if you go down to either Pennsylvania or New York, you'll see the shot clock and you'll see a time limit on possessions. If you're Pennington coming out of the break, you're in no particular hurry, up by 5, or in other words, 2 possessions. Free throws here for the Pennington Red Raiders. It did get a foul called there, so it's Chauncey Sterling for a 1-and-1, and he misses the front end. That's big for Morristown-Beard. Sterling now 1 of 4. But Sterling bailed out as Morristown-Beard turns it over. 2:35 to go. And Pennington slows the pace with Higgins bringing the ball up. Prep B championship on the line here. The Pennington Red Raiders playing in their black jerseys. Morristown-Beard crimson in the whites. Higgins forcing the issue on 2 defenders, and among them Castillo. The foul was called as back on his feet goes Ian Bomey. And we'll have 2 free throws coming for Patrick Higgins. Did hit 2 free throws earlier in the fourth quarter, 4 for 4 on the game. One of 2. 2:10 to go. Justin Rodriguez gliding and settling down with his team down by 6. Russo wanted to go to the cup. Pennington said no. It's a spin move into the lane that's lost by Pennington. And numbers for the Crimson. Russo this time does get 2. And a timeout called by Pennington. Ryan Russo with 8 on the game. Those were his first 2 of the fourth quarter. Turned it over on the previous possession, but that time in a open floor scenario was able to knock it down and give his team a chance here. 1:42 to go and a 4-point deficit for Morristown-Beard. There are the Red Raiders in the huddle in a tightly contested matchup. Coming up 2:06. Down a little bit on 287. To face these guys, the Mo-Beard Crimson. Already out in the Morris County tournament. Went down in heartbreaking fashion. To Randolph, 57-56. That was back on February 10th. A buzzer beater to end Mo-Beard's tournament chances in the Morris County tournament. Still alive in the Prep B, though down by 4 with 1:30 to go, and Pennington's got the ball. Double dribble against Pennington. Anybody who's wearing a black jersey is questioning that most recent call. Anybody at home here happy that Morristown-Beard has possession. A 3 is going to bring them within 1 by Russo. And a foul called against Pennington. Offensive against the Red Raiders. Last 2 possessions, the whistles have not blown in favor of Pennington. But plenty of time left, 1:15 to go, and we'll have another stoppage. I was so excited with the pace of play in the first half. We flew through it with few fouls on either side, few timeouts on either side. It's the complete opposite here in the second half, in the fourth quarter specifically. But you can't ask for much more in terms of a basketball game. 1 point game here late in the fourth quarter. The two teams on paper at the beginning of the game, we said that it was probably going to be close. Similar records, 14-6 for Pennington, 13-9 for Morristown-Beard. We knew the talent that each had on both sides. And it has played out to a tight contest. 1 point advantage for the guest, the Pennington Red Raiders, but they're clinging to that lead as Morristown-Beard will bring it out. And the clock runs at 1:15 here in the fourth quarter. Justin Rodriguez taking a screen from Castillo. Diop stays right with them, so Rodriguez checks back up. Diop, a little hip bump, and it was clear from here. Rodriguez to the line, and the foul called on Mansour Diop. Should be a double bonus situation here for the Crimson. And I believe that's Diop's 5th foul. And it is. Mansour Diop fouls out of the game with 6 points. And some more contention over there at the bench as some of the Red Raiders players are claiming that he only has 4 fouls, but if the book says 5, then he's got 5. And there's really nothing you can do about it. So whether anybody's getting charged for a timeout here, I would guess probably not. A built-in breather with 1 minute on the dot to go in the fourth quarter. And Mansour Diop, we still believe, has fouled out, though they're talking about it at the scorer's table. And Justin Rodriguez will, though, we definitely know, have a double bonus free throw situation after this mini timeout. And Rodriguez, with his team down by 1, has a chance to put them on top, which he's done so many times this season. Averaging 20 points per game. Knotted up at 49. Double bonus both ways now. Crimson take a 1 point lead. 56 seconds to go. Do the Red Raiders have another answer offensively? It's Patrick Higgins trying to get it down to Phillips. And it's Castillo who spins off of it, puts it in, and one. Count the bucket, and one more coming at the line for Phillips. Castillo overcommitted. It looked like he had guarded him pretty well, but then he went for the steal, missed it. Phillips was able to get to the rim pretty much uncontested until the defender was able to come over, but just a little bit late. Another missed free throw, but an offensive board and a foul against Pennington. Maybe no foul called. Anyway, the ball out of bounds, and the Crimson now have it. With 36 seconds to go, Beard back down by 1. Pennington leading. With 30 seconds to go, it's poked into the backcourt. And Pennington will have the ball with 28 seconds. Justin Rodriguez lost possession. Jamar Tucker taking it away. Tucker throws it in. Russo going for the steal and fouling Higgins. So now the foul game begins. 26 seconds to play. Double bonus for Pennington. One more for Higgins. Plenty of time left. This one still hanging in the balance. 1 of 2. 52-50. 25 seconds and counting. Rodriguez guarded by Tucker. And it's a timeout for Beard. 21 seconds on the clock. And the team down by 2. So 22 seconds as we talk situation. Morristown-Beard, I think if you're head coach Eddie Franz, you'd be happy to get an open look for 3 to potentially take the lead, but plenty of time to attack the rim. And without Diop in there anymore, we'll put the ball in the hands of Justin Rodriguez and try to get to the rim as he does so well. Even if you miss, you're not out of it yet with 22 seconds. You can still play the foul game and keep the time in check. But to guarantee yourself another opportunity to score, they would have to work quickly. We'll see what they want to do. 21.8 is what's on the clock. And now running is Justin Rodriguez. Eyes up Tucker. It is Rodriguez trying to force it in the middle, and it's brought down by Tucker. A jump ball, and it's Pennington basketball. Jamar Tucker again makes the defensive play, forcing Justin Rodriguez into an ill-advised pass. There was nothing there on the baseline, and Castillo was looming there in the middle, and Tucker took it away. Still time left on the clock, 11.8 seconds. Pennington gets it in. The Crimson want to foul immediately, and they do. And a little bit of extracurricular activity as Ian Bomey keeps Ralph Castillo in check. And a little bit of frustration yelling from Bo Hartpence as he was fouled. Emotional game, certainly at this point. Championship on the line. No harm, no foul. 52-50, and Hartpence, with his team up by 2, can seal the game pretty much with 2 free throws. But he misses the first, and Beard's still alive. .5 on the clock. Hartpence misses both. A 3 wins it, a 2 ties it. It's Rodriguez with 5 seconds. Rodriguez leaning in. No good! It is bouncing around. Time winds down. A foul is called. A foul is called. A foul was called before the buzzer. Two free throws for Ralph Russo. They'll clear out the paint. It's simple. You have to hit two to go to overtime. And he hits the first. Pennington wants to ice the free throw shooter. If he doesn't have any timeouts left, is it a technical foul? No. They do grant him the timeout. So does anybody want to be inside the mind of Ryan Russo? Team down by one here in the Prep B Championship. Fouled at the buzzer. Had no chance under the basket to put that one down. And bailed out by the foul call. A bucket here sends us to OT. A miss gives Pennington the championship. We are going to overtime for the second year in a row here in the Prep B Championship as Ryan Russo gets fouled at the buzzer. And the game is tied at 52. No Mansour Diop for Pennington. Thank you for joining us here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network as we head to OT. Here in the NJ Prep B Championship. Both teams will be in the double bonus. 10 players on the floor are familiar faces if you've been watching the game. Higgins, Tucker, Sterling, Hartpence, and Phillips on the floor for Pennington. Russo, Rodriguez, Bomey, Castillo, and Dees on the floor for the Morristown-Beard Crimson. It's Castillo and Hartpence to tip it up. 4 minutes on the clock in overtime. Higgins finds himself open for three, no good. Long rebound, and Castillo finds himself with a 1-on-2, and that should be a blocking foul on Higgins, and it is. Higgins trying to take the charge, but you could see that he was kind of falling away with Castillo heading to the cup, and a couple free throws here for Ralph. As he makes sure he looks good, tucks himself in before knocking these down. Free throws have not been a strength of both teams. In a tight game, not what you want to see if you're the coach, but it is what it is as Castillo misses both. 30 seconds into the fourth quarter, still tied at 52. Sterling for Higgins. Phillips posting up on Ralph Castillo. You can see the two of them battling. trying to force it to Phillips, and they get it to him. Castillo maybe didn't force it himself, but the ball is loose on the floor, and now Phillips is among those on the floor. The referee taking a shot as well as he comes up limping. Zach Dees was getting in on the action and ends up hitting the ref, as you can see him limping away. And the whistle will grant possession to Beard. Phillips lucky that a foul not called on him, and that would have put them on the line. Here's Ryan Russo with Sterling on his shoulder. Russo gets by him and finishes at the cup over Hartpence. .245 to go in the overtime session. Sterling with a Euro step into the lane and a 2 to tie it up. Good move in the paint. And then good defense on the far side as Sterling forces the turnover. You do see that sometimes where a player makes a play offensively, or even on a larger level as a team, they make a good offensive play. It gives them energy on the defensive end as well. Sterling misses. Then Hartpence is fouled on his own follow. Pennington has won the offensive rebound category, has won the rebound category overall in this one. And they have had a number of second chance opportunities, taking advantage of the height that they have on the floor. Number 24 in Hartpence, 6'5". And Mitch Phillips, who's also on the floor, now lining up on the right block. He's 6'6". 1 of 2 for Hartpence. 2:15 to go. The steal by Sterling, and a 2 for Sterling. Pennington back out by 3. Rodriguez, guarded by Tucker. Dees for 3, no good. Tucker with a great rebound. Outstretched right hand, able to secure it. And Pennington slows the pace, up by 3 with 1:30 and counting to go. Top of the key, it's Phillips who gives back to Higgins. And now Phillips waits for Higgins to come take the handoff again. Again, no shot clock here in the overtime session. Higgins plays catch with Phillips. Pennington wasting time. Higgins takes a shot, and it's an offensive foul. They're going to call it against Mitch Higgins. He was acting as if he took a shot from Zach Dees, and they end up calling the offensive foul against him. So, still a 3-point deficit for the Crimson. If you're Pennington, the silver lining is a lot of time came off the clock in that possession. We're under a minute now here in the overtime session. Tucker is right on Justin Rodriguez. And Rodriguez has to use his left arm to get around him, and he's bailed out by a foul called on Tucker. Great defense by Jamar Tucker, though a foul is called, and free throws for Justin Rodriguez. 6-foot senior guard like white on rice. Everyone has shot poorly at the free throw line except for Justin Rodriguez. He's been perfect. I should say Ryan Russo shot pretty well as well, hitting 2 free throws with no time on the clock in the fourth quarter to send it to overtime. Not all free throws are created equal. 35 seconds to play. Higgins gets it to Tucker. Keep away for Pennington, and they foul him. Ian Bomey called for it. Still double bonus, and Tucker to the free throw line. So we're right back to the same situation pretty much as we were at the end of the fourth quarter. Tightly contested game, both teams in the double bonus. And as to who's gonna win this one, you can flip a coin. Tucker, calm, cool, and collected at the line, drops it in. It's 58-56. Two big free throws for Tucker. 32 seconds left. 3-point deficit for Beard. Rodriguez guarded tightly by Tucker still. This time he gets to the cup and he scores, and he was fouled. Was able to get the switch, and he went right at the big man and Bo Hartpence to get the foul call. And Justin Rodriguez, with 21 seconds left, has a chance to tie the game. As they make sure they've got the right man in the books for the foul. Beard trying to take a timeout out of it. Now Justin Rodriguez to the line. A free throw ties the game here in the first overtime session. Prep B championship on the line. Rodriguez, another one to tie the game at 59, and Pennington may hold for one. Sterling with 10 seconds to go. They call timeout to draw something up, and we may be headed for another double overtime session unless Pennington can get to the cup here. .3 seconds on the clock, 59-59. Here in the NJISAA Prep B Championship. Prep A Championships will be live here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. And those will take place, both the boys and girls, on February 21st. Last couple of years, it's been Blair Academy versus St. Benedict's in the boys. For that one, here's 10 seconds left in the Prep B boys. 59-59 in the first overtime session. It's Sterling and now Higgins. Hartpence, as time winds down, we're headed to double overtime. Sterling may have waited just a bit too long to get that play started, leaving them with not much room for error. And when Hartpence bobbled, it threw off the timing for the jump shot, and it was no good. So another 4 minutes on the clock. Another jump ball. As we start the second overtime, as we started the first, Castillo and Hartpence at the middle. Tipped right to Zach Dees, and he goes right at his man. And the foul is committed against Tucker. And I'm not sure how many he has. He was not happy that he picked it up. And I believe it is his fifth. As he comes right out of the game. Fifth foul against Jamar Tucker. And that is a huge loss for Pennington, as he was the one guarding Justin Rodriguez. Zach Dees now goes to the line. Ian Crossland is the man checking in for Pennington. His first action here in double overtime. Great presence of mind by Zach Dees to go right at the man with 4 fouls. And now the Crimson lead here in the second overtime session. Another free throw here for Dees. And he hits 61-59. Morristown-Beard on top. Coming back miraculously in the regulation time and the first overtime session. It's Higgins who left it well short for 3. Crossland kept it in play, but right into the arms of Mo Baird. And for the first time in a long time, it feels like the Crimson can breathe a sigh of relief on offense with a 2-point lead. Rodriguez now guarded by Sterling. Remember, it was Mansour Diop who started this game guarding him, but he fouled out. Then Tucker was on him, he fouled out. Zach Dees finding a lane, trying to spin it up there, no good. And Dees gonna get called for the foul. 100 feet away from the basket, will walk the floor, and Phillips will have 2 free throws. And that's exactly what head coach Eddie Franz is saying to Dees right there. And with 3:08 to go in the fourth quarter, it's Mitch Phillips with 2 free throws. He has not been good from the line throughout the game, though he looks good there. And it's 61-50. 61-60, excuse me. (61-61) as Ian Bomey checks in for the Crimson. Baird takes back over. And with 3 minutes on the clock, it's Justin Rodriguez who receives back from Zach Dees. Rodriguez on Sterling. Castillo was there to give him a screen. Sterling felt it coming. Ian Bomey lost control. It's a travel. Bomey looking for a little bit of defense from his team on the sideline as he looks over at his coach and his teammates. No real argument from anybody on that Morristown-Beard bench on that turnover. 2:30 and counting as Pennington works in the half court in a 61-all game. 2 big players have fouled out for Pennington. Mansour Diop is gone, and so is Jamar Tucker. But it's Pat Higgins, still a quality sophomore guard in the game and with the ball. Crossing up at the top and getting it to the right wing. A lot of time coming off the clock here in this possession, over 30 seconds already. Here's Sterling, leaving it short. Good defense in the lane by Mo Baird. Rodriguez running the break. Rodriguez in transition, finds a man. Russo for three, left it short, and a good rebound by Sterling. So compare the offensive series there. Pennington, as they slow the pace again, taking 35 seconds off the clock, and Morristown-Beard shooting in the first 5 seconds, albeit in transition, and it was a good open three. There's Phillips, who's open underneath for a deuce, and Pennington is back on top, 63-61. How about the resilience of the Pennington Red Raiders? And it's Phillips who gives his team a 2-point lead. We are back to the timeout here with 1:23 on the clock, double overtime here from the Morristown-Beard School. As Pennington, who just found themselves down by 2, rips off 4 straight points to get back on top by 2 here in this second overtime session. I definitely jinxed myself when I said that it was going to be a really fast game. In the first half, we flew by with no whistles called, no fouls that were piling up from the referees. They let them play in that first half, and it flew by. If we stayed at that pace, we would have been done a half hour ago. Instead, we're in double overtime, and it's a game that does not want to end. Two teams that does not want to let the other win. Morristown-Beard down by 2 points at the end of regulation, and 2 clutch free throws by Ryan Russo as he was fouled on a jump shot at the buzzer. He hit both free throws to send it to overtime. Then Justin Rodriguez, as time was winding down in the second overtime, he hit a 3-point play, down by 3. And one for Rodriguez that extended the game into double overtime. And here we are in the second overtime session. The Crimson, yet again, down by 2. 1:10 and counting. Rodriguez got free and then missed it at the hole. Did everything right except finish there. I think he was shocked at how open he was. Pennington, with the clock now under a minute, have the ball. Dangerous pass, and Dees took it away. Dees was fouled, but the whistle came first, and he was out of bounds on the near sideline. He was out of bounds. So nearly a steal and a couple of points for Zach Dees. Instead, Pennington dodges a bullet, still lead by 2. 51.5 seconds to go in overtime number 2. Crossland is open, and he is fouled immediately. Good coaching there, as Crossland has not played throughout this game very much. He's a senior forward, but has not shot the ball here in this game, and his first chance at points will come in a huge spot here in double overtime. 2 free throws. It'll shoot them after the timeout. Crossland got the roll. And the bench goes wild for Pennington. One more makes it a 2-possession game. And he does not get it, it's in and out. So Mo Baird, deja vu, down by 3 in crunch time here in the double overtime session. Tapped in there, first 2 of the game for number 11. And John Martin. All the way ahead of the pack, it's Phillips. Excuse me, that was Hartpence, and now Phillips. Now it's Crossland finding a cutting man underneath, and under 19 seconds to go. Foul is finally committed. Higgins going to the line. A foul by Justin Rodriguez. 2 free throws for Patrick Higgins. Pennington up by 2. Excuse me, Pennington up by 1. And 2 free throws coming. Clutch from Higgins. And Beard will call a timeout. They need a 3. They were able to get what they needed at the end of the first overtime session when they were down in this scenario. It was a 3-point play by Justin Rodriguez with 20 seconds left that tied the game and sent it to a second overtime session. If you're Pennington, you have to think the last thing you do here is foul, so that's probably what head coach Bernie Gurick is saying. You want to contest the 3, and contest the 2 for that matter, but the last thing you want to see is an and 1. If you're Morristown-Beard, you have those 2 trains of thought, whether you go for the 3 or you go for a 2. Same scenario in the regulation time where they had called the timeout with about 20 seconds left. Still time if they want to attack the basket. And if they don't hit, they can foul immediately. However, 1 free throw would make it a 2-possession game. So if you're Beard, you might have to go for the 3-pointer here. They're going to have to go the length of the floor. And Pennington's Patrick Higgins will come up to make sure that they can't roll it in to conserve time. It's Ryan Russo who brings it in. 15 seconds and counting. Crimson down by 3. They need a 3. It's Rodriguez for 3 as he steps back. He got it! He drains it! With 5 seconds to go now, we're tied at 66. And Higgins got it off. It's no good. We're going to triple overtime. Justin Rodriguez with an NBA move from NBA range. He drains it in crunch time again, and the game that will not end continues on to a 3rd overtime session. Justin Rodriguez. Take a quick break and we'll join you for the 3rd overtime here in just a moment. OT. Another 4 minutes on the clock. 66-66. Now it's 68-66. You cannot put the Crimson away. Justin Rodriguez for the first 2 of the triple overtime session. Phillips took what looked like 8 steps, and it is a travel. Castillo in the corner. Rodriguez double teams. Man-to-man defense for Pennington. It's Sterling on Rodriguez. And now John Martin. The Crimson take their time. Martin, good crossover, goes to Russo on the right wing. Higgins eyes him up. Russo to his left hand, goes back to his right and leaves it off the rim, but got his own miss. Not once, but twice. Then tried to find Castillo in the paint, but good hustle by Mitch Phillips, and he secures possession for Pennington. And a long offensive series for the Crimson. And a lot of time off the clock, but nothing to show for it. As the Red Raiders trail by 2 and have the ball. Phillips spins off Castillo at the top, then scoops it up, and a foul is called against the Crimson of Morristown-Beard. I believe it's in the act of shooting. It doesn't really matter because they're in the double bonus. And we're getting 2 shots anyway. Mitch Phillips to the line, and they do call John Martin of Morristown-Beard on the foul. Two minutes to play. 1-point game, 68-67. As Phillips goes 1 of 2. Mismatch here as Zach Deeds is guarded by Phillips. Castillo almost lost it, but does have possession. Finds Rodriguez, cutting to the hoop, left it off the rim. And Phillips the rebound, eyes up court, finds Sterling. Sterling attacking the cup, had an open man in the corner, and a whistle blows. It's going to be a foul against Beard. Sterling to the line. So a chance to take the lead if you're Pennington. 1:32 to go. And that man, and Chauncey Sterling, the 6-foot senior guard. Another couple of big free throws upcoming. Tied again. Justin Rodriguez. Still Rodriguez. And still Sterling guarding him. We get to a minute to go. Almost as if Morristown-Baird's holding for one here. 40 seconds to go. Pennington clearly not wanting to foul. They have not subbed very many people, and they've been in the double bonus for the whole game, plus almost 3 overtime sessions. So a lot of dudes in foul trouble here, so it allows Morristown-Beard to wind the clock down and give them the last shot. Russo nearly traveling. Now 15 seconds. Rodriguez back in his hands with Sterling on him. A bucket wins it for Beard. Under 10 seconds to play here. Third overtime session. Rodriguez for Dees. Got it! And the game's over. Beard repeat Check out D's game. A three-pointer at the end, and the final is 71-68. He only needed 2, but he got 3. And it's Zach Dees who hits the big shot to give his team a Prep B championship for the second year in a row, stealing it from the hearts of the Pennington Red Raiders, who had a lead in both the regulation, overtime, and double overtime session towards the end. And you just can't say enough about the resilience of Morristown-Beard in all 3 of those sessions to be able to erase the deficit and then hit the big shots at the end. Zach Dees with what's gotta be one of the biggest shots of his life, and certainly something that he'll remember for the rest of his life. Congratulations to Morristown-Beard, Prep B champions for the second year in a row. And the final here, 71-68, as Joanne Zama comes to get the Prep B trophy and grant it to Morristown-Beard, her Morristown-Beard Crimson. A phenomenal game here. And congratulations to the Crimson as they will be champions of the Preps. We thank you for joining us here on the Play-by-Play Sports Network. Josh Sperber, our director. The final, 71-68. Morristown-Beard beats Pennington in 3 overtimes. We hope you enjoyed. We thank you for joining us as the Mo-Beard Crimson take home the Prep B championship here on their home floor. We'll see you next time, and so